Hey, so this video was supposed to be a how to optimize the brand new Vigor game from Bohemia Interactive on PC. This game was released on consoles a couple of years ago and now it's finally got its own PC port in early access, but it turned into more of a review and you'll see why. By the end of this, hopefully you're more aware of what you're spending money on, as it is a free-to-play game that you currently need to pay in order to access in early access. So take from it what you will. Here's my experience of trying to get the most out of the game, performance, what the settings do, and just general feelings about the game. Anyways, this is a very different video to the usual. Let me know if you enjoyed and want to see more of this kind of content, and let's just get into it. In this video, we've got yet another extraction shooter, this one coming from Bohemia Interactive, called Vigor. You may know this as it's originally been out on consoles for quite a while, but now it's finally got its own Steam release. So let's go ahead and talk about what kind of performance you can expect, and of course, how to get the most out of your system with different in-game options. So immediately out of the box, in the tutorial zone here, we're getting a solid 140 FPS, which is okay and all, but this is definitely not representative of general gameplay. That being said, we are currently video full screen, uncapped FPS, and everything's set to auto, but I think let's max it out. Okay, well, it seems like changing any of my graphics options has knocked it straight back to my ultra-wide default resolution, so it's going to be crushed for you, but that does also mean that pretty much no matter what I select here, whether I choose full screen or windowed borderless or even just windowed, none of these are going to work at proper 2K for me, at least 16:9, even though my monitor is set to that. It's really annoying that it's just ignoring my settings. Maybe a quick restart will get this fixed, but uncapped FPS, after changing any option, that happened, and now we're cranked all the way up to the max and we're setting at a solid 85 FPS, which is okay. And we're not going to be playing with lens flares. Obviously, this is an extraction shooter. There's a bit of tension, of course, and you want every competitive edge that you can get. Motion blur you definitely don't want on, and neither do you want lens flares. Coming out of this zone and into the mostly open world, we're getting a solid 100 FPS, but of course, once again, I'll need to mess around with it and get into an actual game to show you what kind of performance we get. Oh, and would you look at that? Things are not scaled for ultra-wide. I can't scroll here. Well, I hope there's no HUD elements that I'm missing.
Search him for equipment. He won't need it anymore, but he most probably will if you want to make it to a safe zone alive.
Found another one of your soldiers.
Are you sure it's one of ours?
Yeah, pretty much. He has the same clothes as the first one by the tunnel.
I don't really know about the voice acting.
He has a map and a bandage.
Check your map. There is a camp nearby. Look for it. 5 such occasions. Arm yourself with anything you can find in the camp. You can handle a gun, right?
Oh, that's cool. Well, it seems that when you're using certain weapons, you lose your crosshair entirely, such as this Mosin. You can middle click while holding right click to switch to first person, but I don't see that mentioned anywhere in this tutorial quite just yet. Anyways. Also, there's subtitles, but oh, no, never mind, there's a speaking. I didn't think there was speaking.
Go on.
Everyone from your team is dead, but I took care of the perpetrators.
Ah, yes. Hold squared to holster weapon. Well, I guess I'm just running with an ad then. Anyways, looking past the shaky tutorial, let's fix the res and give it a shot.
Now that you are safe, we have time for introductions. My name is Ada.
And I need to hold a key that the prompt is off screen for. I figured out it's spacebar, but there we go. And no, I don't want to matchmake just yet. Let's fix this resolution. Very weird that it's just ignoring my Windows settings. Maybe there's a config file I can mess around with. Well, I can't seem to find the settings file location, so I guess we're just doing an ultra-wide benchmark then. Anyways, I suppose there's a few things I need to iron out first. Alright, let's go ahead and collect our daily reward before we do anything. Fantastic. Let's actually search for a game with everything maxed out and find out what kind of performance we get with everything on high, and we'll play around with these settings to see if there's anything you can change to gain extra performance, as we're kind of locked to native resolution. It doesn't seem like there's DLSS or any kind of upscaling, which is a little weird, but it isn't exactly a brand new game. It's 4 years old on console at least, so I suppose there's console optimizations, meaning it should work with most systems anyways. Well, I suppose while we're searching for a lobby, right over here, I'm getting a solid, let's see, 110-ish FPS, not too bad. Let's go ahead and video, advanced, find out what kind of difference we get here. So changing from epic to high, we're now getting 115, 116 on medium, and 117 on low. So 117, 116, all the way up to 110. There's maybe 5 FPS difference between all of the shadows options, which isn't a whole lot. That's probably what, 3% performance. View distance on high, 110, normal, 115, 14, 13, and that's it. 3 FPS difference, that's what, 2%? Subsurface scattering, 110 to 117, 16, not bad. That's 5%. Probably want to have this off as it doesn't change all that much. And finally, getting into game to test this out. Loading into the actual game itself, we spawned nearby an extract, which is cool. We're sitting at a solid, let's see, 90 FPS, it's rating, so there's a bit more going on. Let's have a look at these options. Video advanced, shadows between epic at 92 to 92, not a difference here. View distance, 100 to 90 FPS, so there's 10% difference, maybe a bit more here in this current scene, even though I don't see anything changing in the distance. Subsurface scattering, 91 to 91, still the same. Ambient occlusion, epic, 91, high, 93, medium, 100, that's pretty huge, and low, 110. Okay, well, obviously it's changed quite a bit visuals-wise. You probably want the best visibility in this game. I'd definitely recommend ambient occlusion on low, but if you like a bit more shadows, medium is probably fine. Anything above that is just taking away your FPS for practically no visual difference. Subsurface scattering, there's no difference visually, and for a 5% performance increase, it's probably worth having it off. Finally, lens flare, we saw already, it's not something you should enable in a competitive game. You can, of course, recompile your shaders at any time clicking this button here for a hopeful boost in performance, but it seems like this is what we're getting out of the box at 2K ultra wide, so that's that. There's not a huge amount that we can do here besides that, which is kind of surprising, but I suppose not. At the same time, we're using 3 gigs of VRAM, and there's no texture option or anything like that, so it seems like you'll need at least a 4 gig card to play this game, and that should be most of everyone. Console optimized? I assume so, so that's carried across to PC. Gameplay wise, it's a little bit floaty. Obviously, it's not meant to be as realistic as something like Arena Breakout or Tarkov, so if this is more your style, or you've just happened to play it on console, then probably going to be pretty suitable for you to play here too. That is, of course, if you enjoyed it there. Not too sure why my mouse just floated over there. There seems to be not mass acceleration, but there's something weird going on here. Anyways, let's head towards a more interesting area. We've been detected for some reason. Using I to open up our menu, we've got a couple of daily challenges here, a story challenge as well, so we need to open our crate in the crates tab, which we can't do here, and of course probably looting and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and open up the crate just to see what kind of quests we get. Hitting M to open up the map, we can click on a location to mark it, and once we've done that, let's go ahead and exfil. Doesn't seem like there's faulting, at least in this situation, and I don't think we can change our field of view either, so I'm kind of stuck being this close. Anyways, heading to exfil. Well, after being unable to connect, I think we're connected now. Heading in here, let's see. Crates menu. I actually don't have an idea. Store. The Rubik's Cube. Well, I don't know where this crate is. Let's see if we can get some combat at least and maybe get out of here. Took a minute and a half to find a game, but that's fine. I don't expect there to be too many people. It is a paid game that is going to be free to play eventually, so I guess you're paying for early access / a DLC or something like that. Let's see what happens. Alright, spawning it again at a different location. Let's see what happens at the comm station, shall we? Also, I'm still not sure where to open this thing. Boosters? Maybe that's what we need? Hold on. Boosters, I think it just tells us what's active. I don't think we can click those. Well, I'm not too sure where the crates tab is, but let's just see what PvP and general looting looks like, I suppose. Obviously, it's not such a in-depth shooter as maybe Arena Breakout Infinite, Tarkov, or anything like that. That's not really the style they're going for. As for a comparison to Project Elite, another free-to-play looter shooter extractor that's, I think, more of a mobile game type feeling. This isn't so much a mobile game feeling as it is a console game feeling. I assume that probably a lot of people are going to be playing this with controller, especially if they got used to playing with controller on consoles, or maybe they'll just play there instead, as well, it's free there, I think. Anyways, we've collected a few things and there seems to be some action happening somewhere here.
Use the comm station to change the drop zone.
We can change the drop zone with the comm station that's here, so I assume we can move it somewhere else. The airdrop, that is. Don't really know where it is, but we are interested in a bit of action that's going on. Alt to change shoulders, right click is for third person zoom, middle click toggles first person aim. As such, relatively simple controls. And here is our first bit of combat. Well, instant one tap headshot. Got a easy kill there. Let's see what kind of loot this dude's carrying. I mean, I suppose it's okay. We'll grab what's here and move on. Also, it seems like C to ping. As far as I understand, you should be able to play this with friends, but having a look at these Steam reviews for this game, that seems to be one of the things you can't do at this point, is lobby up and play with friends, which is, I suppose, something they need to add relatively soon. Otherwise, there's not going to be too much interest besides just solo players. I've dug a hole. Let's go to the airdrop area, maybe. Super difficult to see anything, but I assume the weather would change over time. It doesn't always have to be this way, but maybe it is. I assume this game has a certain charm that some people are into. Personally, I don't really think it's for me, but I can see why people might like it, especially when compared to more competitive / more difficult shooters like Arena Breakout and Grey Zone, for example. Again, just digging a hole, not too sure what that means. Only certain locations can be dug, and I think we're just sort of waiting for this airdrop. Hopefully it'll come soon, but we'll see what's in it and then probably call it there. Oh, it seems like teased the wave. Okay then. We do have some controls here, and I assume whatever the holster button was not bound by default. I haven't changed anything. Actually, holster is bound. It's X. I don't know why the tutorial didn't show me that. Anyways, well, I suppose we just wait then. Yeah.
Collecting the airdrop is rewarding, but it's also challenging to escape the other Outlanders.
It's telling me that an airdrop is difficult to pick up, and I've been temporarily revealed to a nearby player. Cool. Yo, a box. Airdrop incoming. There we go. Something's actually happening. Let's see if we can grab it. Yeah. Keep a lookout here. And Pam. I don't think there's anyone else coming for it.
Looting the airdrop is dangerous. Stealth and speed can be the key to success.
Let's have a look. I can't open it. Do I need to crouch? I think I do. Alright. It's a trap. Okay. I guess we're just... No. I typoed that. Let's give it a shot again. It's a bit distracting that they're arrow keys and not WASD. Airdrop special issue. Contains crates, boosters, and even crowns according to the better airdrop level.
Reveals the position of the carrier.
Cool.
Will you join the hunt?
Right, so my position's apparently been revealed. Let's go ahead and extract, I guess. There's a ton of dramatic music for not much going on. On the bright side, we should be out, and we can find out what's in the loot box, I suppose. Fuel, yoink. Unable to connect, but I should connect soon, I hope. And we're in. Let's have a look what's inside of this box. Inventory. No. I'm not entirely sure. I think my loot is supposed to be here, but it's locked. Complete 3 encounters. I suppose we can extract one more just to see if it unlocks our inventory. I think this video is turned more from a how to optimize your game and get performance out of it to a should you or shouldn't you buy it. Personally, I think if you've got an ultra-wide monitor, the game isn't for you in its current state. And unless you've played this on console, it probably isn't for you either. Unless this is the kind of thing that you're going for, there's still a lot that they need to work on. Obviously it is early access, it just could take a while. If you're looking to play with your friends right now, it doesn't seem like you can do that. And of course, a free-to-play game costs money in the beta for whatever reason. I guess you have to buy the DLC in order to play it, or at least that's how they make it seem. There is something that I've seen that's the #1 review on this game, which is basically a way to start the game and get it downloaded for free, as it is a free-to-play game anyways. Officially on Steam, that is. We'll have a look in just a moment. Anyways, readying up and extracting. Alright, let's head to the closest extraction point, just down here for me, and let's get out of here. I don't think I need to interact with anything, but maybe we can get across here. Let's just open a box or something before we leave, so it counts as something. There's some action happening up ahead. I don't seem to have my previous weapon, which is fine. There's a player. And my head vanished. Cool. Leaving. Anyways, we've finished 3 of them. We should now hopefully have access to our inventory. And it seems like I do not. I have no idea how to get access to my inventory. I've done 3 encounters. Anyways, I'm going to call it there. Oh, and just a quick post-recording note. I'm checking out a couple of other YouTubers to see what their experience of this game was. And Jack Frags, when they extracted, they got to see this screen over here that shows them what loot they got, kills and stuff like that. And it seems like this was completely skipped over. Oh, and they can also access things in the base after, let's see, I think 2 or 3 extractions, but I didn't see this at all. None of these were crossed off. It seems like after I extracted, I got disconnected maybe, or something wasn't saved. So I don't think I actually made any progress at all. So I understand what people are saying when they say things just aren't saving in the reviews. I guess they're not. Yikes. I haven't made any progress, and I'm not too sure how I'm supposed to. I don't know what's inside of the airdrop, and personally, I just don't think this game is for me. If you're a console player and you enjoyed this game, then in the future, this may actually hold some weight. You can play it with controller on PC, I assume, and things may be better in the future, but for now at least, I don't think it's quite ready. It's still got a little bit of cooking to go, and of course, if you're not able to play with your friends at all, I don't have any to test this with, then that's a big issue, especially when it comes to competitive extraction shooter type games. Anyways, this was supposed to be a here's how to optimize your game. You've seen the difference with performance. You've seen you can't change your resolution. It kind of is super limited, but for a console, I guess, port that's in early access, it's not too bad. But then again, there's not too much control anyways. Well, for me, it's going in the same bucket as Leet. It's just not really my flavor of game, and if this works for you, well, hey, it's on Steam. Let's quickly find out if we can get this for free, and if I get my money back. Okay, so let's quickly switch accounts here, and we should be able to find out if we can play it for free, as over here on the review page for Vigor on Steam, you'll find out that the top comment over here says, just run this command, and you should be able to play the free-to-play version without the paid DLC, which seems to be the only listed one. Anyways, Vigor the game is free, and the only one you can find is the Reinforcements pack, which is the DLC for the game. Let's see if we can get that done. Alright, so switching accounts, you can see I can borrow the game. I don't own it on this account. Let's see if running this actually works. So start in R, which is the Windows key in R. We'll paste in the Steam run command here. Okay, and no, doesn't seem like you can. Well, not too sure what this comment was here. Maybe it worked previously. I don't think it works now. Yeah, seems like it's been fixed. Well, that's that. I will be requesting a refund. This is supposed to be a free-to-play game, but currently it's not. Sure, you can support the developers. Bohemia are behind this. They do have quite a bit of experience when it comes to creating games. The Armor games, for example. So there's quite a bit behind this game. Hopefully it changes into something positive and something good, but for now it's just not for me. Anyways, this was supposed to be much more of a optimization guide / positive thing, and it kind of turned into a should you buy it, and my answer is currently no, it's not for me quite just yet. I'll give it some time to cook and maybe think about it in the future. Anyways, hopefully this video helped you, if not was entertaining. Thank you all for watching. This was very different to what I usually do. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao. And a super special thank you to Superior Emerald for being an ultimate supporter.